All right, test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna check to see if everything's all going right. All right, test. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Let's see. Let me play something like this real quick.
This is our home.
I think we can all agree.
All right, let's see
that
how
mascot
the
horror has been a
game
defining
or the
genre
YouTube
of
volume
online
is
gaming
comparison
this
to
year.
myself.
Every year, there are dozens of new
I'm gonna try to
contenders
see if I
all
can talk
vying
through
to make
this.
their mark.
See
Franchises
this.
like
Probably should have done
Bendy,
this
Hello
before stream, but you
Neighbor,
know it's
Baldi's
fine.
Basics,
We're gonna
Rainbow
find it out.
Friends, Choo Choo Char.
Alright, I'm turning down the game a little bit. Or not the game, the hi. Turn down. Oh yeah, I probably should turn that down just a little bit. Alright, they think that should be fine. And let's see. Yeah.
Charles, Amanda the Adventurer, Poppy Playtime, all of them
All right.
competing
See how
for
good
your
this is in
attention and
comparison
your
to my
gamer
voice.
dollars. But I
Awesome.
think we can all agree that one franchise has truly stood above them all. One series with gameplay so deceptively simple that it took the internet by storm. One series that pushed out sequels at a blistering pace to keep the hype.
All right, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit more. Do it like that. All right, let's check it out one last time. Let's see if there's anyone in chat, really. Nope.
Train going.
See how
One
that
series
is.
with a story that was so convoluted
Oh
that
my
it
God.
makes theorists like me weep. And that
Stick
series
ready.
is Ban Ban. Wait, are we doing this? Are we really doing this? Oh boy. All right.
Actually, I should turn
Hello,
down.
Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. Where
Oh,
today
wow,
I
it's
give up
already at
my last
30%?
shred of
What the
dignity and
hell?
stare into the abyss that
Why is this
Garden
such
of
a hard
Ban
thing to
Ban.
keep
In case
in
you
mind?
missed it,
All right.
congratulations. You missed
See
it.
this?
Garden of Ban Ban is no joke.
Garden
the
of
most
Ban
searched
Ban. I heard that's a
new
bad
horror
game
IP
anyways, but
on
that's fine.
YouTube.
Alright. I think this should be a fine volume. It's pretty low. But anyways, let's start off by playing our favorite game, Portal. Does that work? Yeah. Ooh, let's go. Oh my god, let's go. We're speed running that shit. What the hell? That was crazy. Let's go. Why is Discord taking how long to load? Speed run out of here. Let's go. You can't make this shit. Can't make this shit up. Oh my god. To the new. Alright, cool. I'll be your destination. Tell me your favorite song. Alright. Let's listen to this thing. We're starting new React content, boys. Let's see how this goes.
Changing the game means we inspire the next generation to find a trajectory to be leaders on and off the court. Make way.
I'm Ron Finley, also known as the Gang.
Oh, so that's the thing. I
This
thought.
garden was developed out of necessity.
I need to
for
turn
healthy
this
food.
up.
The connectivity with social media, with the internet, has helped spread my word.
My God, why did I get 2 out of 2 ads, bro? That are unskippable.
Pizza Tower. At first glance, this game looks like it has relatively little story.
Okay, so my pad's gonna be super duper loud. Because my headphones are really low for some reason. But what we have to do now is we have to turn down what it is. Is what it is. Let's see, it's this one, right?
We're shown cutscenes at the beginning of the game that
Yeah.
practically tell us everything that we need to know. It's the story of
Alright, let's see.
one man running around trying
Should this in comparison to my voice? I turned it down really low on OBS, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, a little too low on the OBS side. Let's put it around here-ish. Alright.
It is a thin plot that merely
Alright,
serves as an
let's see how
excuse
this
to
is
kick off the
comparison to my
action.
voice.
But
Awesome.
no, friends, this game is so much deeper.
Oh
than
my
that.
God,
Hidden
Matt Pat.
background that-
Turn it down just a little bit. Let's go to 18. See how that
Developers
is.
have put a whole
Awesome. We love to
history
see it.
here,
We love
a
to see
history
it. We
of
love to see the
betrayals,
gameplay
of
map.
war, of cloning. And if you follow their clues, it's Pizza Tower.
Love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see the gameplay map.
And if you follow their clues, it's Pizza.
Alright, we'll turn it up just a little bit and then we'll call it. Awesome. Alright. Start off with Wordle. That was great. Now let's react to some map hat. Alright. Where I'm gonna introduce you guys to our little. Look at this dude. Woo. Say hi. He's a cutie. Look at him. His name is Boomy. Bumi. He's staying with us for 2 weeks. But he's cool. He's gonna react to Map Hat with us today. He's being a nice kitty. You might hear him meow at some point because he wants to get on my lap because I'm the only one home right now. Oh, and he's going in my desk. He is, I think he's 2 months old, but yep, he's having fun with it. Yeah, he's only here for 2 weeks, so yeah, he might do that. All right. All right, let's actually watch this video and like get it done. Actually, I need to update the follower count first. Cause we have 66 subscribers. All right. Oh my God, he is all up on the screen over here. But what is going on, YouTube? Matt Pat just dropped a nice new game theory about my favorite game, Pizza Tower. And today we're gonna be reacting to it. It literally is fresh out of the oven. You already know. Pull that pizza right out of the oven 7 hours ago. Number 7 on trending. Matt Pat, always the guy for the content on any game. Game theory. You might have known him for his FNAF lore, for his Poppy's Playtime, basically any indie horror game. But I've been watching him since forever. You got something to say? Okay. I've been watching him since the peak of time, so I'm gonna react to it. I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot of commentary to give on this. Cayman, if you want to make a video out of this, it's totally fine. I just wanted to do this for my own pleasure. I literally have not watched this yet. I watched like the first 5 seconds and was like, I need to react to this on YouTube. Or not on YouTube, on Twitch. So we're going to have this down. This is like one of my favorite games of all time. So that I played on stream. Granted, I haven't played a lot of games on stream. So yeah, we're going to do that. All right, let's go.
Pizza Tower. At first glance, this game looks like it has relatively little story. We're shown cutscenes at the beginning of the game that practically tell us everything that we need to know. It's the story of one man running around trying to save his struggling restaurant from an evil floating pizza that's threatening to blast his business with a laser. It is a thin plot that merely serves as an excuse to kick off the action. But oh no, friends, this game is so much deeper than that. Hidden in the
You love the
background,
inverted
developers
colors?
have put a whole history here. A history of betrayals, of war, of
You already
cloning,
know,
and if
like,
you
the
follow
community's
their clues,
popping
you'll see
off
that
with
our
this.
heroic chef may just have been the true villain from the very beginning. Hello,
Oh, you love to
Internet.
see it.
Welcome to Game Theory. Better
I've had
evidence,
always being
better
creative.
theories, Game Theory. I hope you're hungry,
Sheesh.
loyal theorists, because today we're serving up a slice of piping hot lore courtesy of Pizza Tower, the intensely
The
viral
lore.
indie smash hit that released back in January.
Yes, sir.
Might be a little late to the party on this one, huh? If I were the pizza delivery guy, this
So am I, but you know, it's fine.
now, for those of you who weren't keeping up with it during its development, Pizza Tower is a frantic action platformer in the style of the Wario Land
Yes, sir.
franchise. Actually, one of a handful of Wario-likes that's been cropping up over the past few years, like Anton Blast and Treasure Techland. Basically,
Huh.
the game's developer McPig
Never
saw
heard
that
of
Nintendo hadn't made a new
McPig.
Wario Land in over a decade and said, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
Like a lot of spiritual successors.
Wait, 5 years and a whole lot of people.
Who was it? It was Ukulele? Yeah. That was a spiritual successor. There have been a lot of people that like, because there's been no Banjo-Kazooies for a while. So there are a lot of like developers that are just like, you know what? Like, I'll just make the game myself. Ukulele didn't end up making as great of a game. I think Shantae is also a spiritual successor, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I guess this is also another spiritual successor to Wario Land.
Trans support later, the game is here and the response has been overwhelmingly positive.
Yes,
with
sir.
Pizza Tower becoming one of the highest rated Steam games of the year mere hours after its release. People immediately fell in love with its blistering fast gameplay, the Ren and Stimpy art style, the absolute absurdity of these characters and their world. And of course, like any good indie game, there's a heaping helping of hidden lore in the secret
Really?
sauce. Lore that is very easy to overlook when the vast majority of the gameplay has you running through levels at absolute top speed.
For real.
Let me tell you, not only is there lore in here, when you stop and pay attention to it, it actually turns everything that players have assumed about this game on its head. Our main character, Peppino, is much more than just a hapless pizzeria owner trying to save his struggling restaurant. He's a man who brought all of this on himself, and our actions through the game are just perpetuating a continued cycle of abuse and violence. That's right, it's a
Sheesh.
classic game theory. The hero may just have been the villain all along.
Damn. Literally how solving the cheesy lore. What is this? I don't even know anymore. They hit you with the classic plot twist. It's like the plot twist in like every game that's just like, but what if they were all dead? It was just a dream.
Are you all ready to get funky? Let's begin. For those of you who haven't played Pizza Tower yet, here's the basic plot. While lamenting his failed pizzeria, Peppino Spaghetti, yes, that is his real name, is
Yes,
visited by
sir.
Pizza Face, a sentient floating pizza that's threatening to destroy Peppino's with a laser cannon. So to save his business, the naturally anxious Peppino goes on a rampage, running down anyone who gets in his way as he chases Pizza Face to the top of the titular Pizza Tower. Peppino runs at Mach speed, climbs walls like Spider-Man on caffeine, and beats the ever-loving snot out of any sentient foodstuff that just so happens to cross his path. Rest in peace there, Snotty. At the end of each stage, Peppino knocks down Pillar John, a living stone slab that Pizza Face cloned repeatedly and then placed in each level to keep the portals of the tower open permanently. Knocking him down triggers a countdown sequence a la Wario Land 4, or a final Metroid-style escape, where Peppino must get back to the beginning of the level as fast as possible before Pizza Face catches him. As you climb through the tower, you go through dozens of wacky places like a city of pigs, a farm beset by aliens, a literal war zone, and an abandoned pizzeria haunted by ghastly animatronics. Oh, come on! I can't.
You had to get him with it. You had to
Is there
get
no
him.
rest? God. If Peppino manages to reach the top, he's finally able to confront Pizza Face, who, it's revealed, isn't actually a floating pizza monster, but rather some kind of mech secretly piloted by none other than Pizza Head.
Pizza
a guy
Head.
With a pizza for a head. This game's naming conventions are pretty self-explanatory.
Hey, man.
Anyway, it's an odd reveal.
Simplicity.
This is a character
Less is more.
who's never shown up previously in the game and was never explicitly alluded to. As such, at first glance, it seems to be a twist villain just for the sake of having a twist villain. And honestly, I'd be totally okay with that. This is a joke game where nothing is taken super seriously.
For
so
real.
having our floating pizza head be replaced by an actual pizza man is the sort of ridiculous twist that would make a lot of sense here. But we are theorists. When we see a surprise final boss,
Your
appear without
fanfic
any clear build-up,
twist.
that's the sort of thing that sets off all kinds of alarms. If you stop and take a closer look at our true final boss here, everything about Pizza Head is pretty weird. For the big boss of the game, he never seems to take the final fight seriously. He starts the fight by handing Peppino a gun. He accidentally pulls out a dirty picture of himself. He shoots a machine gun at his own face instead of at Peppino. He is laughing the entire time. It's almost as if he's not trying to kill Peppino at all, just mess with him. If he wanted to kill Peppino, he could have just fired the laser at Peppino's pizza without warning instead of giving him a chance to stop it. Except the laser isn't anywhere to be found when Peppino gets to the top of the tower, nor could I find it in any other level. The only explanation is that there was never a laser in the first place, and that all of this was a trick to lure Peppino to the tower for some greater purpose.
What kind of lost
Why?
lore is
Well, to
this?
understand that, we actually have to play through the game again. See, once you know to be on the lookout for Pizza Head, the signs are there from the very beginning of the game. Literally, the first enemy that you face in the tutorial is a cardboard cutout of Pizza Boy, a boy with the exact same face as Pizza Head. Notice the blushing cheeks, the big red nose, and of course, the large slice of pizza as a face. That is suspicious. It would seem that Pizza Head might just be a grown-up version of Pizza Boy. We see later in the FNAF level that Pizza Boy is the main mascot for Pizza Boy Piz Pizza, and that's not the only place that he shows up. World
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to
Yeah, what's up,
every
Mr.
computer
Beast?
in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer.
4, the slum, has a Pizza Boy cutout crammed into a sewer pipe. This then leads to multiple cutouts that we can find littering the sewers throughout the level, as if all of this Pizza Boy merch was suddenly discarded all at once. Later in the game, when visiting the Pig City, you can see wanted posters at the beginning of the level, as well as at the beginning of the Vigilantes boss fight. Peppino is a wanted man, with $1 million bounty on his head. That is like John Wick levels of bounty.
For real.
What did he do? Later in the Pig City level, Peppino gets arrested, and what do we find waiting for us in the cell? Lo and behold, another Pizza Boy cutout just waiting there, acting almost like a calling card. Is he the one behind all of this? Could it be that he's the one putting up the wanted posters? And when Pig City eventually goes up in flames, graffiti of Pizza Boy's smiling face can be seen peeking out from between the buildings, like he's reveling in all this destruction.
Gotta love that.
Finally, at the very end of the game, just as Peppino and friends are about to reach the exit of the crumbling tower, a horde of Pizza Boy cutouts appear in a last-ditch effort to slow them down, both bookending the cutouts from the beginning of the tutorial, as well as signaling that Pizza Boy himself is the thing trying to keep Peppino from escaping. Pizza Boy is always there. He is always watching. He is always impeding Peppino's progress.
He's
He even
always
reacts to how well you're
watching.
doing in the game. When you first boot up the game, a Pizza Boy face is used to measure your current completion percentage. He begins happy when you're at 0%, but he starts getting sad when he sees that you've made some progress. Bit by bit, he gets angrier and angrier, quickly losing all resemblance to Pizza Boy and instead gaining the appearance of Pizza Head instead. If Pizza Boy were a distinct entity, it wouldn't make sense for him to be worked up by Peppino's success. But if he's really Pizza Head, then of course he's getting mad, because you're getting closer and closer to foiling his plot. Which then begs the question, what's the plot? All these clues seem to suggest that Pizza Head was once the mascot and potential owner of Pizza Boy Piz Pizza, but we still don't know what beef he has with Peppino. If he's just going after some competing pizza chef, why target someone whose business is already in the tank? Well,
For
Pizza
real.
Head himself doesn't have any dialogue in the game to fill us in on his motives. There is one NPC who does. Pizza Granny. She is just like Pizza Face. She's a pizza, she's got a face. She appears in the hub world before each level
There's
to
a
tell you things like
bunch of
how
random
easy it is to
dialogues.
carry projectiles, or how it's unfortunate that your name is Peppino Spaghetti. Usually her dialogue is short and snappy. She's basically just there as a tutorial. But in one encounter in the Western District, she suddenly spouts off on this huge
Yeah.
rant. The syntax
There
is
is
all
that one
off, and
dialogue.
it's hard to parse what exactly she's trying to say, but one nugget of information stands out among all the
I do
rest.
wonder what
Quote,
controller
"In the
Matt
upper part of
Matt
the
Pat
tower,
plays
there's this
with, because
pizza
I know I
boy
saw it
character.
on
Then
Game
there's a
Theory
man from your
live that he
previous
played the
life
game.
leading the way.
It'd be so weird if he was just
Pizza
on the
Head's going
couch,
up
just
there.
like
It's not much of a stretch to figure out that he's the
typing up.
man for Peppino's past. But again, I ask, what is their actual backstory here? Why is Pizza Head out for revenge? Well, it all comes back around, as it so often does, to FNAF. Specifically, the FNAF level I keep mentioning, Don't Make a Sound. It's the second to last level of the game, which already places it in
Of course
third
that'd be the
position.
most
But what's
important one.
really
Is this an
interesting
April
about
Fool's
this one
joke? Am
are
I getting
all the
got?
clues that are sprinkled throughout the various background environments. The first thing to notice is the poster that that clearly indicates Pizza Piz Pizza is going bankrupt, which could explain why all the Pizza Boy cutouts were thrown down into the sewers throughout the slums map. So we know for a fact that Pizza Head's restaurant hit on hard times. We can also see in the storage room of the pizzeria that the dead body of a safety inspector is hanging from the ceiling, trapped by one of the many dangerous toys that are hidden away in boxes. That might be one good reason the restaurant hit on such hard financial times. Nothing says fallen profits quite like having a series of murders happening in your back rooms. Ain't that right, Willie? But it's this series of posters here that I really want to examine. The first one shows us that the game's third boss, the Noise, used to be a mascot of Piz Pizza. Now, for a bit of context here, the Noise is a parody of Domino's mascot, the Noid, a character who's notorious for being one of the worst restaurant mascots in all of history. We actually recently did a food theory.
Yeah, I literally was to say I watched that video too.
Caused a hostage situation at restaurants. So if you haven't seen that video or aren't familiar with the character, check that one out after you're done here. But based on the photos that we see around the level, the Noise was a key part of Piz Pizza's marketing strategy, and apparently he wasn't the only one. Over here, on some of the other posters, you can see a stretchy cheese slime
The Vigilante.
character. Now, cheese slimes are a common enemy throughout the game, so this could be a stretch. Get it? Stretch, because he's cheese. But I don't think that right there is just any character. I suspect that slime, just like the Noise, is also a boss in the tower. Specifically, the boss of floor 2, the Vigilante. For proof, look at the eyes. Notice the pupils of a normal cheese slime versus the pupils of the Vigilante.
I've always
The
wondered, like,
Vigilante
they
has
do look
pinprick
the same.
pupils, as opposed to the common enemies, which have more oblong pupils. Now look at the slime that's used in this poster. Pinprick eyes. Eyes that match the Vigilante. So we have ourselves the second floor boss being a former mascot of the brand, the third floor boss being a former mascot of the brand, and the final floor boss, Pizza Head, being Pizza Boy, the main face of the company. I don't know about you, but I'm noticing a pattern here. And that pattern only continues as we look at more details in the level. You see, as we run through the remains of Piz Pizza, there are other familiar faces that start popping up. For instance, Peppino's chef friend Gustavo appears here multiple times. First, as a Gustavo marionette guiding us forward, but also as a character in an arcade cabinet pizza crawler. Why would he be here of all places? Why would there be merch and spin-off titles dedicated to him unless he also worked at Piz Pizza at some point? But even more suspicious, Peppino himself used to work at Piz Pizza as a mascot. Throughout the level, we see various arcade cabinets starring Peppino. Pizza Tower Defense, Pizza Tower Golf. But if there was any doubt, there's one poster that's hidden just out of view that shows Peppino chasing after the pizza gremlins Noise and Noisette. In other words, Peppino used to be a mascot of Piz Pizza 2. Every single one of these characters used to be a part of the Piz Pizza brand. They were all mascots or marketing characters or involved in the business in some way. They all have a shared history, with Pizza Head as the literal and figurative head of it all. But it seems like at some point, Peppino broke off from the others to make his own pizza business. I suspect that somehow, some way, that decision killed Piz Pizza. Hence why we see the company going bankrupt. Why do I think this? Well, in one of the other posters, we see Pacino, the Italian chef, an animatronic-like character that looks exactly like Peppino. And not only does he look like Peppino, if you get jump scared by one of the monsters in this level, you'll respawn as Pacino. That right there shows you that you and Pacino are meant to be one and the same. I think this was Piz Pizza trying to find a replacement for Peppino. When Peppino left to strike it out on his own, it left all the other characters high and dry. Suddenly, they were left with one of their star characters gone. So in a desperate bid to replace him, they tried puppets and robotics and marionettes, but none of them worked. And that's when they started getting really desperate. They started cloning Peppino. You see, what?
Clean, bring, drop, and give your empties a second life.
Damn, they're going in.
No matter where the journey goes, you'll love what you discover. It's only just begun.
Once you reach the boss of the 4th floor, things in the game get real weird. If your theorist alarms weren't set off by anything else in this game, floor 4 should be putting them into high alert. It's here that we fight
Peppino
himself. Yep, we are fighting ourselves, or more accurately, a twisted clone version of ourselves. He's taller, his eyes popping out, and oh yeah, there's also literally dozens of them all attacking at once. He'll even throw his head at us when things get desperate. But why is there a clone of our character running around? Well, we actually see the lab where these clones get made in the final level of the game, simply titled War. In this level, you literally fight your way across a war-torn landscape with fighter planes and bombs in the air. It is weird. So much so that it prompted the fans to come up with their very own game game theories, mostly centering around the idea that Peppino is actually a war vet. Now, McPig, the game's creator, did come out and debunk that theory on Discord, but then they also made some tweets that would imply that the theories might be true, so it feels like that whole thing is up for debate. All that, though, is neither here nor there. What I want to focus on is the background of some of the screens in this level. In them, we see copies of Peppino floating around in stasis tubes. What's it mean? It means that he's being cloned. But why? Well, the clue is given to us back during that 4th floor boss fight. Look at the background and notice what it says in the window. Peppino's Pizza 2. And that's not all. At the end of the fight, there's an extended horror chase sequence. If you manage to survive, you emerge on the other side and are suddenly standing out front of an old defunct building named Bruno Pizza. They're rebranding failed abandoned pizzerias as Peppino's. It's Pizza Head trying to make his own Peppino franchise. They're creating Peppino clones to steal
Literally your
away his
third
business.
party.
Not because it's particularly
Your
successful
Honey
or
Nut
anything like that, but
Toastios.
as repayment for Peppino's betrayal when he first left the Piz Pizza family. So taking all of these clues together, here's the
Your
final
prongles.
storyline that I've pieced together based on the clues hidden in the game. Piz
Okay,
Pizza
Matt Pat,
was a
land on me.
highly successful company that would regularly roll out new mascots for marketing purposes to build up hype. The Noise, Noisette, Gustavo, Cheese Slimes, but at the top of the heap there was Pizza Boy, the literal face of the company. The Pizza Tower is his family home, as evidenced by the portraits that hang in the game's opening hallway. But of them all, there was one mascot who would rise to challenge the popularity of Pizza Boy, Peppino, a chef character who would get taunted and trolled by the Noise twins, a beleaguered everyman who made some pretty darn good pizza. When he was first introduced, his popularity took off, and Piz Pizza put him everywhere, including multiple spin-off arcade games. But eventually, Peppino wanted to move on, to strike it out on his own. He was popular enough, he could become his own solo act. This, to Pizza Head, a former child actor, was the ultimate betrayal. They were family. You don't just leave family. Desperate to replace him, Pizza Head and the rest of the crew created Pacino, an animatronic version of Peppino. It didn't work. Piz Pizza started to struggle. Meanwhile, things were doing okay for Peppino. Not great, but he was making enough to get by. Piz Pizza was still pulling in a lot of customers. It was his biggest competition. And so Peppino decided to play a little dirty. You see, because of the time that he spent working at the company, Peppino had one final ace up his sleeve. He knew the dangerous secrets that lurked in the back of Piz Pizza, the failed and deadly products that Pizza Head had tried to sweep under the rug. So Peppino called for an emergency health and safety inspection of the restaurant, hoping to get his competition shut down once and for all. Then his pizza company would be the last one standing. It would finally be able to thrive. Was he betraying his former co-workers? Sure, but this was business after all. And the thing is, his plan worked. In fact, it worked a little bit too well. The health inspector came, got caught up in one of the dangerous backroom toys, and died. His pizza wasn't just slapped on the wrist with a low health score, it was suddenly hit with massive fines for safety violations. News spread of the death that had happened at Piz Pizza. This resulted in the business going bankrupt.
What
in a
is this
hurry. And all
intense
these
lore?
characters
What the
like
hell?
Noise, the Vigilante, Noisette, all of them with no place to go except to linger on inside of Pizza Head's family tower, plotting some kind of revenge against the man who had abandoned them and then sabotaged them. The Piz Pizza crew came up with wilder and wilder stories until finally landing on cloning. They created dozens of alternate Peppinos. This was no longer about getting business back, this was about revenge. This was about taking his business down along with them. This was war, a mutually assured destruction. They would put the clones into shoddy copycat pizzerias in low-income areas of the neighborhood to hurt the Peppino brand, and it worked. Peppino's original restaurant was crushed by the debt, and so there they all were, miserable, destroyed together, which meant it was the perfect time for Pizza Head to give Peppino a visit, to lure Peppino back to the tower and reunite the Piz Pizza family once again, to force Peppino to confront all these moments, these places, these characters.
Going
from his
down
past.
with me.
And that is where the actual story of Pizza Tower begins, and where our story today ends. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go have a salad. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you want to learn more about the dark history of the Domino's Noid, that video is on the left.
Pretty good, honestly. I liked it. Alright, I'm gonna pull this up. Let's pull this out. Put that away. Okay, let's pull this bad boy up. What'd you think of that? What'd you think of that? Huh? Look at him, he's having so much fun. Tell me. I think he enjoyed it. He's just sitting in my lap. Oh, it's so weird. Don't know why it's not playing anything. Let's see. That is so weird. Why is it not playing anything? Let's try one more thing. Options, audio, turn it all the way up. System settings.
You and my best friend Amy went
Alright, it seems like my computer's having issues right now, so we're gonna have to reset real quick. I'll be right back.